प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्स सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी स्तोतीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितं लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरहः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद् पंकजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसि न श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः सापदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः।
धन्यवादः प्रत्युषा। ओम श्री कृष्ण परमात्मने नमः। अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः। धृतराष्ट्रो उवाच धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुयुत्सवः मामकाः पाण्डवाश्चैव किमकुर्वत सञ्जय। मंजरी भगिनी सायराम।
धन्यवाद भगिनी. Welcome all to Bhagavad Gita English session. So last class we stopped at 2.28. That was 28 shloka we have done last class. So we'll be starting with 29th shloka. So from the 11th shloka, Krishna has started Sankhya Yoga, that is Atma Swarupa. He is describing the soul, the Atma, how it is, what is the Swarupa. It is indestructible, it is eternal, it is Nitya, and it is beyond the cycle of birth and death. All those things he has explained. And now he continues the description of the Atma. Bhagini, can you read 29th shloka?
Yes, Bhagini. Prabhakant is not there.
Okay.
I will do, Bhagini.
Yeah, please.
अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि
Na Bhagini, न आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति
Okay,
कश्चिदेन.
sorry, Bhagini. 29. Okay.
Yeah, 29.
आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम् आश्चर्यवत् वदति तथैव चान्यः आश्चर्यवश्चैनमन्यः शृणोति श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित्.
Dhanyavad Bhagini. So Krishna starts telling about Atma. So Ascharyavat Pashyati Kaschit Enam. So Ascharyavat Vadati Tatha Eva Cha Anyaha. Ascharyavat plus Cha plus Enam plus Anyaha Shrunoti Shrutva Api Enam Veda Na Chaiva Kaschit. So Krishna says, Ascharyavat paschati kaschidenam. So someone, kaschid, someone, enam means him means here the soul, the atma. So someone look on the soul as amazing, ascharyavat pashyati, and kaschidenam ascharyavat vadati. Someone describe or talk about him as an amazing thing, and ascharyavat shrunoti anyaha, ascharyavat च एनम अन्यः, third line, आश्चर्यवत् च एनम अन्यः शृणोति. So some hear of him as amazing, while श्रुत्वा अपि एनम वेद न चैव कश्चित्. Even after hearing about him, some cannot understand him at all. So Krishna is talking about the Atma. We'll discuss line by line. Ascharyavat pashyati kaschit enam. Someone looks at Atma with great wonder or surprise as it is totally different, never seen before. And it is because it cannot be seen by eyes, it cannot be heard by ears, it cannot be touched by our hands. We cannot say that it is soft, it is hard. We cannot say that it's having some fragrance, or we cannot say that it is warm. We cannot say that it is tall. So it is something which is beyond the grasp of our sensory mechanism, and which cannot be perceived by our sense organs. So our organs or our imagination or our these sense organs are limited, only these five. So this experience of this atma is beyond atindriya, beyond our mechanism of these sense organs. So that's why someone looks at it as amazing, as a wonder or a surprise. It is because what we do is, this atma is such a unique thing, and it is eternal, and there is nothing as eternal as this atma in this world. And all the others, compared to this atma, all the others are myth, or all the others are perishable, but only atma is imperishable. But still there is nothing as unknown as atma in this world. There is nothing as less studied as atma. And it is because we are so curious to know about the things around us. So even we have gone to measure the diameter of the earth, diameter of the sun, diameter of the moon, distance between sun and moon, distance between earth and sun, and so many things we have achieved. But yet we have done very least studies, very less minimum studies in this atma. We have never tried to move inwards. We have never done our inward journey and try to find out this atma, because it is so complex and it is so difficult to understand this atma. Only very few saints have become successful in doing this inward journey and experience this atma. This atma, as I have said, it cannot be touched or felt, or it cannot be smelt, or it cannot be experienced by any of the sense organs. It is beyond all these things. It is atindriya. So how we can say that atma is there within us? It is by experience, by the feeling, and then by what? Atma can be felt only by atma, not by any of the sense organs. So it is only by the experience. Those who have done inward journey, they have discovered atma within them, and with great astonishment they are telling about it to us, because they have never seen something like that. And in experiencing the Atma, Drishya and Drishta are the same. For example, if we see a flower, then that becomes Drishya and we become Drishta. So there are two entities, one is Drishya and one is Drishta, that is, one is the scenery itself and one is one who sees that, but one who looks at it. But when we experience this Atma, so Atma should be experienced by Atma only. It cannot be experienced by any of our organs, sense organs. That's why both are same, and so far very few saints have experienced this, and they are describing to us, they are telling to us about this Atma with great wonder, with great ascharya, he says. And the second line is Ascharyavat vadati tathaiva cha anyaha. Some people talk about it, some people tell about it to us, those who have experienced the Atma. So they are talking, they are telling it to us. So they speak about it with great amaze, as we cannot describe it, because it cannot be described as, it cannot be compared to anything that we have seen so far. We cannot describe it as it is round or spherical or square or cylindrical, cubical. No, we cannot compare it to any of the shapes that we have seen so far. Or we cannot describe it as white or black or tall or short or big, small, nothing. So we cannot describe it by the words we know. It is beyond our vocabulary. It is something which I have never seen before, because we know that Atma is Nirakara, Nirguna, Nirvishesha. It's not having any qualities. It is not having any shape. It is not having any size. So it is so difficult to describe that. That's why one who experiences that, he expresses Ascharya, amazing, wonderful. He expresses surprise because he has never seen it before. He has never experienced it before. And the third line is Ascharyavat cha enam anyaha shrunoti. And some people like us, when we hear about it first time, when we get to hear about it, so we are also so surprised. So someone hear it as wonder, as we cannot give any example for it to explain it. Like it is like this, some giving by examples, we cannot explain it, because nothing is similar to Atma on this earth, nothing is comparable on this earth. And that's why we cannot get exact picture of it, how much ever we try to explain, but we cannot get the exact picture of it unless we experience by our own Atma. So why the Shrota, that is one who hears about it, feels it's so amazing, so wonderful? Because till today, all these years, for example, if I take my own example, I am thinking that Manjari is me, and whatever sorrows or grief or happiness I am experiencing, I am thinking that it is my own experiences. Whatever diseases, if any, if I am experiencing, if I am suffering, I am thinking that, I think that whatever my body is suffering, whatever Manjari is suffering, I think that I am suffering. Whatever praises or some good things Manjari is getting, I'm thinking that all those praises are for me. And whatever disease or sufferings or criticism or insult or whatever Manjari is facing, I was thinking that it was all mine, and I was thinking that people are criticizing me, people are insulting me. But now I have realized that no, it's not for me. Whatever criticism or ninda, stuti, admiration or appreciation, whatever this Manjari has got for the soul, for me, it is nothing. It is not for me. The soul is so pure, it is unaffected. So it's not affected by any praises, ninda, stuti, mana, apmana. It's not at all affected by those things. All those ninda, stuti, mana, apmana are for the sharira, for the body, for the name Manjari, not for me. I am different and Manjari is different. So when I realize that, when you get hear about that, I feel it is amazing. It is so wonderful. I have never heard about it. All these years, I have suffered thinking that whatever criticism, whatever ninda, stuti, mana, apamana, Manjari is getting, all those things are mine. Whatever diseases I am experiencing are mine. But now I have realized that I am different. My body is different. And I am not affected by any of the diseases, any of the sorrows, any of the happiness. No, I am such a pure soul. So that's why one who gets to listen about it also feel it is amazing, it is wonderful. And then the fourth line says, Shrutva api enam na chaiva kaschit na veda. That is, even after hearing to all these things, some people will not understand this about this Atma. It is because they're not matured. They don't have ability to understand that, because that ability is very important. And whose mind is not pure, chitta shuddhi, will be learning in detail about chitta shuddhi in the coming shlokas. And one whose mind is not focused, they cannot understand about this Atma at all. Because to appreciate a very good music, to appreciate a piece of artwork, we should listen to it, we should be focused, and we should listen to it, and we should be interested in it, and then only then, and we should be in a position to understand the efforts put by the artist. So if we can do all those things, only then we can appreciate the music or the good artwork. So if we are immersed in our own business, and then we'll not even appreciate a good music, we'll not even appreciate a good piece of artwork. In the same way, if unless we are focused, unless we are interested, unless we pay little attention to these things, in spite of hearing it, so we may get to hear it, we may read it, we may write examination, we may teach it, but then also nothing goes inside about this Atma. That's why Krishna is telling that Shrutvapi enam. So some people, in spite of listening it, na veda, they will not understand. That's what is Krishna telling. Bhagini, yeah, I'm not sharing the screen today. Sorry, I didn't get time to. I have to take the screenshot of all those PPTs and then present it. So I'll do it next time. Okay. I hope all of you are having textbooks, and I'm not sharing the screen today. Okay. So that's what the shloka says, that Shutva api enam vedana kaschit anyaha. Some people, in spite of listening to this, reading to this, writing this, and teaching about this, in spite of doing all those things, some of them will not, some people will not understand this Atma at all, because their mind is not matured enough, or they don't have ability to understand that. So that's what he says. So then, Bhagini, read the next shloka.
देहि नित्यमवध्योऽयम् देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि.
धन्यवाद भगिनी. So Bharata, हे Arjuna, I am Dehi is Atma, I am Dehi, this Atma, Sarvasya Dehe, in all bodies, Nityam Avadhyaha, it is Nityam, it is always there, Avadhyaha, indestructible, immutable, Tasmat, therefore, Sarvani Bhutani, for sake of any of the living beings, any of the creatures, Natvam Shochitu Marhasi, you don't deserve to grieve. That's what he's telling. So this immutable Atma is indweller in all the bodies, and it is ever indestructible. It is Nityam. Avadhyaha. Avadhya means indestructible. Therefore, do not grieve for anyone, not only for Bhishma Drona. Do not grieve for anyone, because never think that you are killing someone or anybody is killed by anyone, because it's only bodies are killed and you are not killing anyone. So he's telling it is immutable. Atman is, it never changes, it remains similar. So we know that Atma changes the bodies. So when Atma is in a very small bacteria or a single celled animals like amoeba or some paramecium or something like that, and then if Atma gets a costume of bigger animals like elephant or whale, but the size of the Atma will not change accordingly. It will, when it is in bacteria, it's not that it's very small, and when it takes the costume of elephant, it's not that it changes proportionately. No, it is immutable. It never changes. The Atma never changes. Whatever may be the outside body, Atma remains the same, and it is indestructible. That's why Krishna is telling, don't worry about the Atma, or don't worry about Bhishma Drona. So never grieve for any deaths. So here, any deaths that occur either in Yuddha or natural death, so you shouldn't feel sad for that, says Krishna. Bhagini, agre pathatu.
स्वधर्ममपि चावेक्ष्य न विकम्पितुमर्हसि धर्म्याद्धियुद्धाश्रेयोऽन्यत् क्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते.
Dhanyavad Bhagini. So now till this shloka, that is 29th. So from 11th to 29th, Krishna told Sankhya Yoga, that is about Atma, Atma Tattva, Atma Swarupa, he told. So now he sees that in spite of telling about Atma, in spite of telling Arjuna that don't worry about Bhishma Drona, you cannot kill them, it's only bodies that get destroyed and all those things, there was no change in the expression of Arjuna's facial expression. Krishna could see that Arjuna didn't show any eagerness to fight, or he didn't get up and say that, oh Krishna, I'm realized and I can fight now. No. So Arjuna was still sitting like that only with Vishada. So now Krishna thinks that, oh, I'll change my tune and I'll just change the tone, and then I will teach him in a different way, because Krishna thought that I have to teach him what he must do right now. So, okay, I have taught him about Atma and all, that basic knowledge I have given, but now I should go to his level, I should go to his platform and then teach him what he should do right now when he is wearing the costume of Arjuna. So, whatever costume we may be wearing, but we should perform our duty, as I told you earlier also. So whatever may be Papa or Punya or whatever may be the body we are wearing, but everyone should do duty, because there is Sakshi, that is recorder in our body, which records that we do Papa and Punya. So we only carry that when we travel from one body to another body, we carry that recorder of Papa Punya. So now Arjuna, if he doesn't fight, he will get Papa. So whatever may be the Atma Jnana, Tattva, Atma Swarupa, but right now Arjuna should perform his duty. That's why Krishna thought that I should go to his level, his platform, like how a mother bends and holds the finger of the child to make the child walk. How much ever short the baby may be, but mother bends that much and holds the finger of the baby to help the child to walk. In the same way, Krishna comes down to the level of Arjuna to tell him what he should do right now, because he told about all the things beyond this life also he told, but Arjuna is not yet convinced, or still he is not gathering courage to begin the war. So Krishna starts the new way, that is another 7 shlokas. He tells him about the Kshatriya Dharma. As a warrior, what is his duty now, what he should do in the battlefield, what Arjuna should do. So Krishna starts that. So he says, Swadharmam api chaveksha, Swadharmam api cha aveksha na vikampitum arhasi. Even if you perceive it from your dutiful point of view, okay, so even if you see it from your duty as a kshatriya, and then dharmat yuddhat shreyaha anyat kshatriyasya na vidyate. So even if you say from your point, your that is from the kshatriya's point of view, so there is nothing which is righteous, or there is than fighting the war. So chance of fighting the war is the righteous thing for the Kshatriyas. So hence do not waver. So he says that there is nothing more righteous for a Kshatriya than waging a righteous war. So this is Dharma Yuddha. That's why you must fight this war. So what is the duty of a Kshatriya? So he has to rule his kingdom in a righteous way, in a dharma, nyaya, in justice, that is. And then he has to protect Satya and Dharma in his kingdom. When there is a challenge for this Satya and Dharma, then he must fight against it. So because a Kshatriya or Arjuna, they are trained for that. From the beginning, they are trained in war skills. From the beginning, they are trained to protect their people. From the beginning, they are trained to protect their motherland. So now time has come to protect his motherland. So he shouldn't hesitate little bit also for that. So he should not treat this war as his personal enmity, but he should treat this war as for dharma yuddha, as the for establishment of nyaya. Because if he doesn't fight the war, then it is like he is protecting adharma, he is supporting adharma. So seeing the adharma and not doing anything, it is like supporting only and ignoring it, because Duryodhana has done series of adharma, series of papa, and leaving him without punishing. In spite of having the ability to punish him, if Arjuna doesn't punish him, he will get sin, because it is Kshatriya's dharma to punish a guilty person. So he has to punish, otherwise uh, he will get sin. That's what Krishna is telling. Bhagini, agre patatu.
यदृच्छया चोपपन्नम् स्वर्गद्वारमपावृतम् सुखिनः क्षत्रियाः पार्थ लभन्ते युद्धमीदृशम्.
यदृच्छया च उपपन्नम स्वर्गद्वारम अपavrutam. Yadruchaya, it has come on its own, unsought. You didn't ask for it, you didn't wage the war, you didn't initiate, you didn't invite, but it has come on its own. Yadruchaya, on its own, it has come unsought, it has come. Cha upapannam praptam, got this. Swargadwaram apavrutam, so it is like gateway to Swarga. Swarga door is open. This Yuddha is a open pass to the Swarga. And he Partha, Idrisham Yuddham, this kind of war, Sukhinaha Kshatriyaha Labhante, the fortunate Kshatriyas, only the lucky Kshatriyas will get such a kind of war. Hey Arjuna, Krishna is telling. So lucky you are, he says. So the Kshatriyas for whom the chance for fighting a righteous war has come unsought. That is very important. Unsought. These people, Pandavas, have not started this war. They are not initiated. So it has come on its own, on the way. So it has come in its normal course. And this battle opens the gate to the heavens. So it is, you are so lucky, he is telling. Because we should know the difference between dharma yuddha and the yuddha which is not dharma yuddha. So in the previous also, dharma yuddha shreya anya kshatriyasa navidyate, he told, no. So what is dharma yuddha? We have to know that meaning. So dharma yuddha is something that we have not initiated it, and we have not tried to grab anything from anyone, snatch anything from anyone, but they have snatched our motherland, they have hurt our people. So it is a duty of a king to protect his people and protect the motherland. If someone has snatched our motherland, it is duty of a king to fight and get that land back. That's why, and here it is like every step uh, Kauravas were troubling and humiliating Pandavas, but then also Pandavas didn't opt for the war. Yudhishthira and Krishna went and asked for Sandhana, the treaty, and they asked for only for 5 villages. But what Duryodhana said, he said that your province, that Indraprastha, it should not be begged, it should be won by you. That's what Duryodhana said. So their own land, when they went and asked, he said, you cannot become beggars. So you should win the war and get your land back. So the war is initiated by Duryodhana. Pandavas didn't initiate the war. And that's why, so now it becomes Dharma Yuddha. Because Dharma Yuddha means the Yuddha which is done, or Adharma Yuddha we'll see, which is not Dharma Yuddha we'll see. In ancient days, people used to do war for so many reasons. For many times, it was just for their personal gain, or from a very selfish, to satisfy their selfish needs. Because sometimes it used to be to expand their territories, sometimes to take revenge, sometimes for a woman, or sometimes just for a hobby. So, in olden days, kings had two hobbies, one was hunting and one was war. So, when they are free, they used to go for hunting, and in the same way, they used to wage war on the neighboring countries just to expand their territories. So, it was like a game for them. So, but these wars are not called as Dharma Yuddha. What is Dharma Yuddha? If someone snatches our motherland, someone troubles our people, then we have to fight for the right cause. We have to fight for Dharma. So that is Dharma Yuddha. Really, somebody is troubling, then the Kshatriya should fight against those evil spirits and protect the good people. So that is called as Dharma Yuddha. So here it is Dharma Yuddha because Pandavas didn't opt. Pandavas didn't initiate, they didn't invite. In spite losing their land and Draupadi humiliation and so many series of incidents, Pandavas didn't opt for war, but it was Duryodhana's choice. That's why it becomes Dharma Yuddha here. There is no doubt that whether to fight or not because it is Dharma Yuddha. And Krishna is telling this opportunity to fight this Dharma Yuddha, everybody will not get it. So there is nothing great in sacrificing your life. Krishna is telling Arjuna. There is, you may be telling that he tells previously that even if I drop all the weapons and my enemies come and kill me, I find that is better than me killing them. He says. So Krishna says dying or giving your life is not a great thing, but for on which purpose you are giving your life, that's very important. You may not win this dharma yuddha, you may die while fighting this dharma yuddha, but if you sacrifice your life for a good purpose, then at least you will have the satisfaction of fulfilling your duty, performing your duty. That's why duty is very very important, so you must fight, says Krishna to Arjuna. भगिनी अग्रे पठतु.
अथ चेत्त्वमिमं धर्म्यं सङ्ग्रामं न करिष्यसि ततः स्वधर्मं कीर्तिं च हित्वा पापमवाप्स्यसि.
So अथ चेत imam dharmyam sangramam na karishyasi. So if you don't do this fight, if you don't fight this war, if you refuse to fight this legitimate battle, dharmyam sangramam, legitimate dharma yuddha, then tataha you will fail in your righteous duty and will ultimately incur sin. So actually we have seen in Arjuna Vishada Yoga, that is first chapter, Arjuna was telling that I will get sin if I kill my own people. Many times he has repeated it in Arjuna Vishada Yoga, and the biggest fear was that he was thinking that I'll get sin, I'll get sin. But Krishna is giving reply for his question now. He is telling you will get sin if you don't kill these people, because they are on the adharma side. So you will get sin if you don't kill them. So he is telling that if you do not perform your religious duty of fighting, then you will certainly incur sins for neglecting your duties and thus lose your reputation as a fighter, which is very, very important. So he's telling Swadharmam Kirtim cha hitva papam avapsyasi. You will become kartavya bhrashta. So you will be called as kartavya bhrashta. So it is like all of us, for us, performing our duty is very, very important. So it is like a mother of 5-year-old sitting whole day in puja room, neglecting the child and telling that bhakti is the best. So it becomes a papa for her. No doubt bhakti is the best, but for her, puja is taking care of her daughter or child. So that is very important. So it is like that. Now Arjuna should do his duty. So I'm a teacher. So I can't say that I'll go and sit in the temple whole day instead of going to school. For me, what is puja? So teaching is puja, work is worship. So for each and every one of us, duty is the first and then all the other things. So swadharmam kirtim cha hitva. So what kirti Arjuna had? He had gained so many titles, like Arjuna is Mahaparakramasali, valorous, and then courageous, adventurous, he is expert archer, and all those things, no. But now what he'll gain, people will laugh at him, and kirtim, he will lose that. So whatever he has earned, all these things, he will lose that, and people will call him as coward, isn't it? So that's why, so it is so difficult to get such a good name all these years what he has earned, but now he is losing all those things. That's what Krishna is telling, and you will getting papa only. You are getting sin. By doing all these things, you are getting sin. That's why, hey Arjuna, you perform your duty. Performing duty is must be your priority. Don't worry about anything else. So you have to perform your duty, says Krishna. Bhagini, agre pathatu.
अकीर्तिं चापि भूतानि कथयिष्यन्ति ते व्ययाम् सम्भावितस्य च कीर्तिः मरणादतिरिच्यते.
So akirtim cha api bhutani kathayishyanti te avyayam. Avyayam means forever, for many years. What people will say? So all the living beings, all the men, they will hold you in infamy. That is for the men of so akirtim chapi. They will talk that what coward this person was, this Arjuna was. They and forever for many days. So they'll talk about your disgrace. And for a man of honor like Arjuna, disgrace is worse than death. Akirtim maranad atirichyate, for the men of honor. So this disgrace is worse than death, says Krishna. So akirtim cha api bhutani kathayishyanti. So what kirti Arjuna has gained all these years throughout entire his life, what he has done. So he has done tapas for Shiva, and then Shiva, he didn't give Pashupatastra at once, so he came in disguise of Kirata, that is hunter, and there was a fierce battle between Arjuna and Kirata. All of you must be knowing in that book called as Kirata Arjuneya. So he fought, and finally Shiva was highly impressed by his valor and his dedication, and then he gives Pashupatastra. And Gandiva, Agni gives him Gandiva. And a Gandharva called as Chitraratha had given him 100 horses. What kind of horses? Such a unique and special horses those were. They were 100 in number. Even if few of them die, again the number 100 would be maintained. So that special feature those horses had. And then Indra had given him so many weapons, and Drona himself had taught him so many. He had taught him Brahmastra also, Shabdavedhi. Just by listening to the sound, he was able to target on the animal. So all these vidyas Drona has taught Arjuna, and Shiva had given Pashupatastra, Agni had given Gandiva, Yama, Varuna, Indra, Agni, all he had gone to Indraloka to get all these weapons. Why all these people have given these things to Arjuna? They trust him. They thought that he will establish dharma on the earth. That's why they have given him all these things. And when the time has come, he's thinking of running away from those things. Why they have given? It's like we trust a captain. Suppose it's a cricket. So we make a person as a cricket player because whole nation trusts him and thinks that he'll bring victory to our nation. So they'll give him huge amount and also sponsor his trip and everything. Once when he lands on the field, if he thinks that the opponent is my close friend, so this time I'll just lose the game because my opponent should win because he's my close friend or he may be my relative. So is it not Deshadroha? Is it not deceiving the country? Because now he shouldn't see his personal relationships. He shouldn't see that at all. So now he is playing on behalf of whole country. So it becomes a sin to think like that. It becomes a sin to think about his personal relationships. That's what exactly Arjuna is doing here. So Arjuna is his responsibility is to protect his Indraprastha. All the Indraprastha people are looking at Arjuna, thinking that they'll get freedom one day, like how we were looking at our freedom from Britishers. In the same way, all the people of Indraprastha are looking at Arjuna and Pandavas, and they are thinking that one day we'll get freedom. But what Arjuna is doing now, so many weapons and all he has given, and he has got, and now he is thinking of running away from the battlefield. That's why Akirtim. So all the people will talk about infamy, what you have done all these days. So that's why, and Krishna is telling that uh, Arjuna may tell that let people talk about me whatever they want, I don't care. So now only in the battlefield he is depressed, he's under depression, so he can say that I can ignore. But when he comes out, he cannot be like that till his life, isn't it? Till he dies, till his last breath. So when after some days he may feel sad. Definitely, he has not reached the level of Sthita Prajna. Krishna knows it very well. Arjuna has not reached the level of Sthita. Only Sthita Prajna can ignore Ninda and Stuti. So when people laugh at him, people insults him. So definitely Arjuna feels sad, or a day may come when he may become very angry and he may tend to kill people, those who try to insult him. So Krishna is telling, use that anger in the battlefield. At least you will have the satisfaction of doing your duty. So kill your enemies. Don't kill the people who laugh at you. So don't do that. That's why Krishna is telling. And one day, not able to face the criticism, he may try to commit suicide also, Arjuna. That's why Krishna is telling, if you want to die, die in the battlefield. If you want to fight, if you want to kill people, do that in the battlefield. You will not get sin. If you do it elsewhere, you will get sin. That's why you have to fight this war. Sambhavitasya akirtihi maranat atirichyate. So you are a sambhavita, you are a man of honor. So you feel that disgrace is worse than death for a common people. Of course, this is not applicable for a Sthita Prajna, but Krishna knows Arjuna very well. So he says that you have not yet reached that level. That's why, so you cannot tolerate all these things. That's why you have to fight this war. Bhagini, agre patatu.
भयाद्रनादुपरतम् मंस्यन्ते त्वां महारथाः येषां च त्वं बहुमतः भूत्वा यास्यसि लाघवम्.
So, bhayat ranat uparatam mausyante tvam maharathaha. Maharathaha, the great generals, they'll think that, mausyante, think that you have, you ran away from the battlefield out of fear. So, these, the generals, the army chiefs, those who are gathered in the battlefield, so who have highly esteemed your name and fame, so they were thinking that they're looking at Arjuna as a great warrior, no? So what they will think, that you have felt, you have left the battlefield out of fear only, and thus they will consider you insignificant. So Laghavam will become insignificant in their opinion. So nobody knows that you are running away from the battlefield, because nobody thinks that Arjuna was soft hearted, Arjuna was so kind, Arjuna didn't want to kill his own guru, that's why he ran away. Nobody thinks like that, because this was not a surprise for Arjuna, no? He knew very well that he has to face Bhishma Drona, that they didn't take decision on the spot. He knew very well. In spite of that, he gathered 7 Akshohini Saina. In spite of that, he collected so many weapons. In spite of that, he sharpened his weapons. And now he is telling that I cannot face Bhishma Drona. So that's why, how people will understand this? People will think that he ran away out of fear. Only because of fear, he ran away. Because in spite of doing all the preparations, last day, last moment, if he is running away, then they'll think that only because of fear he has run away. And what about Bhishma Drona? Will they respect his decision? No, never. And such a great Guru Drona, and who has taught Arjuna so much, who loved Arjuna more than his own son, who took the thumb of Ekalavya to make Arjuna unparalleled archer. So now what he will feel? It's a great insult for Drona also, because he never expects that his student will do like that. Because Bhishma Drona, even though they may have to kill Arjuna, they loved Arjuna so much, but then also they are not crying in the battlefield. They are firm, they are standing, they are thinking whatever may come, let it be a sin, but we have to perform our duty. Thinking so, they are standing in the battlefield. So they will not appreciate Arjuna's decision. They will never support him. Instead, they feel ashamed of teaching him. So that's why he is telling Maharathaha, Bhayad Rinat Uparatam Mausyante Tvam Maharathaha. In those Maharathaha, Bhishma Drona are also there, and they feel ashamed because for a great guru like Drona, his Sisha running away from battlefield is a very insulting thing. That's why Krishna is telling, you are not pleasing anybody by doing so. Do you think that Bhishma Drona feel happy? No, they'll never feel happy. That's why uh, you see, you will become insignificant. See, people will uh, laugh at you. So Krishna is telling him what may happen in the remaining life for Arjuna if he runs away from the battlefield. What and all you may have to face, all those things, one after the other. Krishna is giving the clear picture of all those things. You may have to face this, you may have to face this, then you may react like this. So you may feel so sad. You have not attained the level of Sita Prajna. So you have to suffer so much. So your life on earth becomes hell. So you have to fight the war, says Krishna. Then the next sloka is also in the same lines. Bhagini Pathatu.
अवाच्यवादांश्च बहून् वदिष्यन्ति तवाहिताः निन्दन्तस्तव सामर्थ्यम् ततो दुःखतरं नु किम्.
Avachavadanshcha bahun vadishyanti tava ahitaha. Ahitaha means enemies. So your enemies will describe you in many unkind words. Avachavadanshcha, and scorn your ability. What could be more painful for you? Tato dukkataram nu kim. So that's what he is telling. So by your ignoble retreat, what your enemies will do? They'll slander your valor and say unsinning words for you. So can there be anything so intolerable than this? It is so intolerable. It is so difficult. So what people will say? Your enemies are waiting for such an opportunity. So what they'll say? They'll say that Arjuna is coward, or he is important, or he is timid, what not. So whatever comes to their mind, they go on talking about you. And how will you face all these things after this war? You have to still stay in this earth till your last breath. We don't know how many years you may have to stay. And how will you face all these things? Such a great humiliation, such a great insult. And how will you face all these things? So then it is, there cannot be anything which is more sorrowful than this. That's what Krishna is telling. So it cannot be, there cannot be anything so intolerable than this. That's why you have to fight the war. And Krishna is telling again and again that, oh Arjuna, you cannot ignore these criticisms. You have not reached that level. You have not yet still become Sita Prajna. You will definitely suffer. You will have great difficulty in facing all this criticism from people, all these humiliations, all this insult. So please, so hey Arjuna, fight the war, otherwise you have to experience hell on this earth only. So life after this war will be hell for you. That's why you have to fight. Bhagini Agre Pathatu.
हतो वा प्राप्स्यसि स्वर्गम् जित्वा वा भोक्ष्यसे महीम् तस्मादुत्तिष्ठ कौन्तेय युद्धाय कृतनिश्चयः.
Yes. So, hatova prapsyasi swargam. Hataha. If you are killed, then what happens? You will get swarga. Jitvava bhokshase mahim. If you win, then you will enjoy this kingdom. Tasmat, therefore, uttishta, get up, kaunteya, he Kunti putra, yuddhaya kritanishchayaha. So be determined and then fight this war. So here Krishna is here for Arjuna. There are only two options: to fight the war or not to fight the war. So by fighting the war, what happens? There are two possibilities. He may win or he may not win. So if he doesn't win, or if he is defeated, if he is killed, what happens? He'll go to Swarga. That's also good only. And if he wins the war, he will become the king, or he will be in the palace, he'll be enjoying the kingship. So that's also good only. So by fighting, both are good. Either Swarga or he will become king. So both are good. If he doesn't fight, then what happens? He will never get kingdom, that is already ruled out. And he will not get Swarga also. He will get sin only. He'll get Papa only. And on the top of that, he will be experiencing hell on this earth because of all these criticisms from the people. He will be experiencing hell. and also Duryodhana will be troubling him, troubling the Draupadi, troubling Kunti Mata and all those things. So he says that if you see these things, both the possibilities, it is best to fight the war. There is no other choice for you. You shall attain heaven if you die fighting, or you shall attain sovereignty if you emerge victorious in the battle. Therefore, Krishna says, arise, muster courage, and resolve to fight the battle. That's what Krishna is telling. Tasmad uttishta kaunteya kritanishchayaha. Be determined, get up and fight the war. That's what he says. Bhagini, we'll do one more shloka or we'll stop here and we'll do next week. We need
do
time
that,
for
Bhagini, so that we will do.
Parayana.
Bhagini, one more shloka, please do that.
Okay,
Because,
okay,
yeah, next one is different.
okay. Yeah. Patatu, Bhagini.
सुख दुःखे समे कृत्वा लाभालाभौ जया जयौ ततो युद्धाय युज्यस्व नैवं पापमवाप्स्यसि.
Yes. So, sukha dukkhe samekritva, sukha and dukkha. So, by considering pain and pleasure, labha alabhau, jaya ajayau. So, by considering pain and pleasure, labha alabha, gain and loss, jaya ajaya, conquest and defeat, all alike, same, all same, all alike, and then tato yuddhaya yujjasva, fight this battle of righteousness, thus you shall not incur any sin, naivam papam avapsesi, you will not incur any sin. If you worry about results or always think about results, you cannot perform any duty. So Krishna is telling, do your duty, at least you will not get sin. It is because what Krishna is telling is you have to see Sukha and Dukkha in the same way. So in everybody's life, we'll be getting cycle of Sukha and Dukkha. We have seen this Sukha and Dukkha are like day and night, and nothing is permanent. And everybody, from the king in the palace to a layman in the hut, everybody will experience Sukha and Dukkha without fail. Everybody will experience this. So they come one after the other. That's why one should learn to see these things with samatva, so with balanced state of mind. In the same way, profit and loss. A person who is in business, so he should be ready for both. So sometimes the cost of some commodity increases and he makes huge profit, and sometimes it drastically drops the cost, and then he should be ready to face the loss also. Only then he becomes a successful businessman. We have seen even Tata, Ambani, those people also have seen losses many times. So only then they'll become successful businessmen when they maintain peace of mind even during the huge loss. Only then he can become a good businessman. In the same way, Jaya and Apajaya. It may be in war or maybe in game. A person who is ready for both, only he can become a expert player, a good player. To become a good player, he should be ready to face the defeat also. So one who does not take victory to his head and failure to his heart, only he can become a good player. So he should know very well that he should sometimes you should be ready to accept the failure also, the defeat also. We have seen so many good players like Sachin Tendulkar, but even he has faced so many defeats in his life. We have seen that many times he reached 97, 98, just one or two runs for the century, but he couldn't do it. But he had very well maintained balanced state of mind. That's why he became a victorious player. That's why he's called as god of cricket or something like that. It is because he didn't become depressed when he lost. He lost his century in one or two runs. Why he has become successful? Because he learned very well to face the defeats also. So in the same way, fighting also, yuddha also. So the Kshatriya duty is to take part in Dharma Yuddha and let it be defeat or victory. But he should think that I should fight this war, I should put 100% effort, and the victory or the defeat, I'll leave it to God. So, in this way, if he fights, he'll not get any sin. That's what Krishna is telling, and it is applicable for all the fields for us also. Whatever it may be, small work or big work, whatever we do, we should put our 100%, and success may not be in our hand, but at least we'll have the satisfaction of performing our duty. So it is always like sometimes we'll get success and sometimes we'll not get success, and we have to accept both. That's why, and if we always think that, if we always worry about the results, then we cannot perform our duty or we cannot become successful in life. That's why Krishna is telling, don't worry about the results. So, in the previous shloka, that is 2.6, Krishna has, this Arjuna had asked, न तद्विद्मः कतरन्नो गरियो यद्वा जयेमः यदि वानो जयेयुः. So this is answer for that. This shloka is answer for that. Arjuna is asked, na chaitad vidmaha kataranno gariyah. We don't know which is shrestha, whether to fight this war or not to fight this war. Yadva jayemaha yadi vano jay. We will win or they will win. We don't know all these things. That was the question raised by Arjuna. Now Krishna is giving reply through this shloka. So he's telling, don't worry whether they will win or we will win. Don't worry about that. Only your duty, this is Dharma Yuddha, and you have to fight. Don't worry about other things. So that must be our attitude also when we do something, when we perform some duty. We should first think whether it is dharma or adharma, and if it is dharma, then without any hesitation we should engage ourselves in that without bothering for the results. That's what Krishna is giving message to all of us through this shloka, and this shloka is very famous also. Sukha dukkhe same kritva labha labho jaya jayo. We see this in many shops. The business people, they'll put this shloka as a lesson for them in day-to-day transactions. It's a nice shloka. It's better we by heart this and learn this and implement this in our lives. So, Bhagini, with this shloka, we'll stop this as you said. Next shloka, and after that, this Kshatriya Dharma Varna completes. So, we'll be doing that next week. So, Parayana will be there today or not, Bhagini?
Yeah, we will do, Bhagini.
We'll do?
Sukanya Bhagini,
Oh,
please.
okay.
It's already
Dhanyawad.
9 o'clock.
Yes?
It's already
Shanti
9
mantra.
o'clock.
Bhagini,
Shanti mantra.
that's all. Shanti mantra, and then afterwards, please do, Bhagini.
एकनिमिषं भगिनि, एकनिमिषं माता.
वदतु
वदतु
Last week you said, no, last week verse number 28 you said paridevana parivedana.
Yes, I'll come
But
to that.
paridevana is right. I checked up
Yes.
parivedana.
Please
Devana is right, he says, whatever is printed.
Let me speak, please. Yes. Yes, I told you that I'll be discussing in the next class. Yes, Paridevana. Some Bhagini also has sent me that dictionary. I'm very Anita Chawla, I think her name is.
Yeah, I also said my name is Shekhar.
Bhagini. So Paridevana and Parivedana, both the meanings are same. So you can take anything. Okay. So Parivedana is also correct because some felt that Parivedana is correct, but meaning wise both are there. So
Okay.
Paridevana is in many of the books, so you can read it as Paridevana only.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Dhanyawad, Bhagini.
Yes. Sukanya Bhagini.
Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti 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 Samastalokaah Sukhino Bhavantu Samastalokaah Sukhino Bhavantu Samastalokaah Sukhino Bhavantu Samasta Sanmangalani Bhavantu. Dhanyawada sarvebhyah.
Dhanyawada. So,